Hi guys, welcome back to the 12 days of Christmas. Today I have for you a super fun explosion box, and also has a pretty cool feature inside. And so this box measures 5.5 by 5.5, and it was super easy and fun to make. I do have a tutorial, of course, and I will play that at the end. Let me remind you that this series is also a giveaway, so make sure that you are subscribed to all the channels on the lineup. Leave a comment in as many videos as you like, and we will be selecting a winner. The winners will be announced on December 21st. So yeah, so make sure you leave your comments down before the 18th. That is when we're actually closing and picking winners. Okay, so now let me show you the box. On the top here I have some different poinsettias. Now I didn't make these ones. These poinsettias, so beautiful. They were sent to me on Happy Mail. And then this bow I had on my stash as well, already made, so I just wanted to save a little time in there. And then this is also from the ephemera pack that I was using from Michael's. So super fun box. So now let's go ahead and open it. And when you open the box, this is how it looks like. And of course you have a lot of room for pictures, like little Santa and Mrs. Santa and Mrs. Claus. And so you just gonna move them around, and they can rotate and spin, and you can slide them. And I think it's just really fun to play with, and I just love the movement and the interaction, and I think it looks super cool. So of course I did a tutorial on that feature as well, so I will show you how you can make that step by step. So now let me show you the interaction of the box. So over here I make these two little pieces. They kind of look like Christmas presents, and that's what I wanted to go for that look. And these two sides are exactly the same, and these two sides are also exactly the same, so I'll just show you one of them. So over here this opens up. We unwrap the little bow, and we have a little accordion piece, so you can add some 3x3 pictures in there. And then when we open this up, on the back you can add a picture as well. And then over here I just wanted to give you more room for pictures, more space for photos, so you can add big pictures here. These panels measure 5.5 by 5.5, so you can get any 4x6 and just crop them a little bit on any direction. And then on the back I just complemented with some red cardstock because I was kind of running out of paper. I do have some magnets on this page, same thing here. So now let me flip this around and show you this other side. So over here we just have another little opening page with magnets as well, and I decorated the page using some of the stickers that came with the collection that I was using. And then this opens up like that. You can add a picture here, and then I made a little pocket where you can add any type of note, dedication, or just another picture. So I just created this little small photo tags. And on the back here you can also add a picture there. And then back here I created this little belly band, so again you can add a picture and journal about it in the back, and that goes right there. These also opens up, and you can just place smaller little pictures. I think that's what's fun about explosion boxes, that you have area for big pictures and smaller ones, and just the interaction is just so pretty. So that is my project for today. I hope that you guys like it. I was super excited to create that little spinning feature. As you know, I love making all kinds of different interactive pieces, and I just love discovering new things. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and now I leave you to the tutorial. Thanks for watching. Okay, so to make this box I'm going to be using 110-pound cardstock. Also, I'm just going to continue using this paper that I already started. This is the one that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I think it's called Home for the Holidays. And so yeah, so it's one that I picked up a couple years ago, but it is pretty. I love that it has a lot of neutral pages that will go with any type of project. And also I'm going to be using this little piece that I show you. Now this piece is what got me the idea, because the minute I saw these adorable little couple, I thought of making them like kind of like spin around and dance, and I think that would be super cute for like the top piece of like an explosion box. I think it makes something really fun and dynamic. So that's what I'm gonna be using. I got that at Michael's and it was like 60% off. I think all the Christmas stuff is on sale. So okay, so now let's get started with the box. So I am going to cut 4 pieces of 5, actually 5.5 by 11. So we're gonna need 4 of those. So I'm just gonna grab 2 more here and just do 2 at a time, and then we're going to need 1 more, and then I'm also going to need 4 pieces of, I'm going to do just 8.5 by 4.25. So I want these to be the second layer, so we're gonna need 4. So I think I can just cut 2 at a time. So here's 2, and then here's 2 more, 4.25 by 8.5. So this already measures 8.5, so that makes it a lot easier to work with. So I'm just now going to grab my scoreboard, and we're going to score all these pieces at the middle. So the ones that measure 11 inches, I'm going to score at 5.5. And the pieces that measure 8.5, I'm going to score at 4.25. So now we're gonna fold all the pieces along the score lines, and I just love making explosion boxes. They're always super easy to make, and they're very dynamic, and they're unique and different to give as a gift. So, and it's like a little surprise little box, because you never know what's inside, especially someone who is not a crafter and gets one of these boxes as a gift. They're always surprised that it's actually a box to put pictures on. Okay, so now that we have all 4 pieces, we're going to glue one on top of each other. So we're just gonna add this one on top of that one, and make sure to stay away from the score line so it can bend. Don't glue it right on top, because then you can't like bend this piece. So make sure that you glue it right next to the score line, and then we are going to glue the next one down here and the next one right here, like so. So we're gonna glue those down, and we're going to do the same thing for the smaller little box. So then I'm going to cut my design paper at 5.25 by 5.25, and then we're going to glue this piece down, and then we are going to add the second layer right on top of that. So now we're gonna make different elements to add interaction into our box. So I'm going to start with another piece of 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to cut these at 4.25. So then I have 2 long pieces like so, and I'm going to score these pieces at 4 inches and 8 inches. Okay, and then same thing with the other one, 4 inches and 8 inches, just like that. And then we're gonna fold along the score lines like so. And I'm just gonna fold this one in and this one on top, and then do the same thing here. So we're gonna fold the smaller one in and the second one on top like that. And we're just gonna create this little piece that when we open it, we're gonna have a little pocket in here. Okay, so before we glue our pocket together, I'm just going to grab a little piece of design paper and cover that up. So I just need a small piece to cover the top section. So first let me take that out. So I'm going to cut a piece that measures 4 inches, and let's just do this by 2 inches. And we're gonna glue this piece on the top side here, and then we're gonna glue the pocket down. So first let me just add some glue. Here we go. And I'm just gonna place that like so. And then let me move this out of the way. And then we're just gonna place a little bit of glue on this side and a little bit of glue on this side, just like that, to create this little pocket here. Okay, so let me just hold this down, and now we have a little pocket on this side. And then to keep this closed, you can add a little magnet here, or you can add some ribbon on the back and then tie this around. And I'm gonna do the same with this other piece. Okay, so now we have these 2 pieces, and we're gonna cover this with design paper. And after you do that, we're just gonna glue these pieces down on the first little flap here. So I'm going to add the piece also as a pocket. So I'm only going to glue the sides and the bottom. So I'm gonna add my glue, and my glue bottle broke, so it's all damaged right now. So it definitely doesn't look pretty. So here we go. So I'm just gonna add glue to both sides, and then I'm going to just put this right here, and I'm just going to align it with the top. Okay, so I want to make sure this folds easily, so you don't want to put it towards the bottom too much. Okay, that's why I cut it a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to do the same with this piece here. Add my little magnets in here to keep this flap closed. And I'm just gonna place the other one right on top and place my tape with the sticky side up, and then place it right back in there. And there we go. So now this is going to keep this closed, and then we have here a little pocket to add a little tag, and I'm going to cover these areas with design paper. Okay, so here I have this part finished, and for the other 2 sides I cut 2 pieces of 4 by 4, and we're gonna glue those down. And then I have 2 pieces of 3 inches by 9 inches out of the cardstock, and these 2 we are going to score at 3 and 6 inches, just like that. And I'm going to do the same with this one. And what we're making is this little accordion fold piece. So we're just gonna fold it like that, and same thing with this one. Okay, so now I'm just folding along the score lines, and we're going to grab some ribbon, and I'm going to just wrap this around it and just kind of tie it to make it close. And so, and I love this ribbon because it this is going to look like a little Christmas present, but of course you can use just magnets if you rather just have that clean look. But I think the bow is so cute. Okay, so I'm just making a random bow and I'm kind of struggling with that, but so I'm just gonna cut this down like so. And so I'm going to now secure this little bow or ribbon using some of my double-sided tape. So I'm going to put one there and one more here. Okay, and then I'm going to peel the tape off. So let me just take this out, and then we're going to add some glue, and we're going to press this down into this little page just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this whole thing down. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it like this, and then of course I'm going to add some design paper just in here so it can look cute, but since this is small enough, I'm just gonna leave that for pictures on the inside. I won't bother covering every piece. So now I'm just going to do the same thing on these others. Okay, so I love how this is turning out so far, but we're gonna put this on the side for now and we're gonna work on the larger pieces. So for that I'm going to use a couple other pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to also cut them at 5.5 and yes, 5.5. So I'm just going to do 2 5.5, and then we're going to score at 5.25 and at 10.5. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. 5.25 and 10.5, and same thing. So everything we're doing 2, because as you can see, they're kind of like mirror pages. So 5.25 and 10.5, and then we're gonna fold along the score lines. Okay, so we have a piece like this, and then we're gonna use this 1/2 inch to glue this into the base. So we're gonna glue this 1/2 inch down. So let me just add a little glue, and I'm gonna line this up with the outside. And there you go, just like that. And now we're gonna have this extension to that little flap here, and let's do the same on the opposite side. And then we're gonna cover this with our design paper, and these pieces will measure 5.25 by 5. So I'm just gonna add one here, and for these pieces you want to add your magnets on this side only. You don't need to add a magnet on this other side because this page is going to stand up basically. So this is the one that's going to be coming down that you want to keep close. So I'm just going to add my magnets. So for the last 2 sides, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of 5.25 by 5.25, and I'm just going to glue them down into the page. And then I'm going to use some of my scrap pieces, and these measure 3 by 11 inches, and I'm going to score at 5.5, and I'm going to do 2 pieces, and then we're gonna fold along the score line and create this little flap opening that is also going to be a belly band. So I'm just going to add this piece right on the center by only gluing the sides. So I'm going to add some glue. So now we have a little belly band in here that is also going to be a flap. So I'm going to add a couple magnets on this piece here to keep it closed. And then I'm just going to cover this piece with some of my design paper, and this is going to measure 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just gonna place it right here, and then I have my magnets, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the interactive part of this box, and I have a little piece of paper, design paper, that measures 4 by 4, and of course I have these adorable little couple, Santa and Mrs. Santa, that are dancing. Oh, I want to make him like spin around and give it a lot of movement. So I'm just going to grab a pencil and my X-Acto knife. So that's the things that you're going to need, and I'm just gonna draw like a little S shape type of thing, just something very improvised like that. And it's not quite an S actually, it's like a little wiggle something. And I'm going to go with my X-Acto knife and just cut along that line, and then make sure that when you cut the line, you're giving it a little bit of width. Okay, so now we have the little S piece, as you can see. It's not quite an S, but something round like that. And then I'm going to use a little brat, and this is like my secret weapon. I love using that to give interaction to there's just so many different ways that we can use that little tiny piece. And then I'm going to grab some of my scrap paper, and I'm just gonna trace the base of my my piece here. And of course you don't have to use exactly this, you can use you know, many things, whatever you have on hand, and you can also do it for many themes. For example, I have here on my stash like these adorable little bears. I just love buying miniature things like that because they're just so cute to put in explosion boxes. So you can definitely use anything and any theme. So so this little shape that we trace, I'm going to cut 2 pieces. So I'm just gonna actually fold this in 2 so I can cut 2 at once. And it doesn't have to be super exact, but we're just gonna follow the line. Okay, so we're just gonna do that, something like this. Okay, so now we have 2 pieces, and so to one piece we are going to poke a hole right on the center and pass our little brat right down there. And I'm just gonna open it now to keep it flat so I can work with this piece. And then I'm going to use some foam tape and just kind of add it around. And I do this step so that way when you glue this on top, it's not wobbly because of the brat has so much volume to it. So add the double-sided tape and the foam tape, I mean, to keep it more stable. So I'm just gonna try to cover most of the area using my foam tape. And I think something like this, it's good enough. And make sure it's not sticking out. So I'm just gonna trim the little corners that are sticking out. And now that I have that, I am going to use the second piece of cardstock and just glue this right on top. So I'm peeling off my tape. Oops. And then just on top like this. So you're creating a little platform for your figure to sit on it. And now I'm going to add my glue, And I know this glue is really strong, so I'm gonna try this first. I haven't used it on this type of figurines, but if not, we can always use fabric tag. I know that one will work too. So I'm just gonna glue this right on top, and I'm gonna give it a minute to dry. Okay, and I think this is pretty dry already. So I'm just gonna use a little circle. This is just a 1-inch circle. And I'm also going to poke a hole on this piece right on the center. And this is just going to be, it doesn't have to be exact. As you can see, it's not quite on the center. So what we're gonna do now is add the little brads. So now we're gonna unfold it. Excuse me. And we're gonna pass it underneath you know, the little cut line that we did, and then I'm going to pass this little circle, and this is just going to prevent from this figurine coming out because the brad is not long enough to stay in place. And now I'm going to close my brad. See that? And then to avoid any friction, because this is going to be moving, and then you don't want this to be cut up on the middle or on the bottom, I'm going to do one more circle. Oops. Okay, so I'm just gonna place that like that for now. And let's do one more circle there, and just glue it on top of the other circle, just so we are protecting this little brad. Just like so. That way the brad's not gonna get cut on anything. And then we have our little happy couple that can spin and can also move around the little S shape. Okay, and then I think I need to cut my my S shape better here because I need to make it smoother. Okay, so then make sure that your couple will slide through the S like easily enough. So for example, it's kind of getting cut here on this sharp angle, so I'm just going to open the hole a little bit more, the opening here. So just make it a little wider. It's not going to come out now because we have that extra secure little circle here, so it's not going to come out anywhere. But you do want to make sure that spins around just fine before we add this into our box, because once we add it, then you can't really make any changes. So I think this is good enough. Okay, and now we are ready to bring our box back. Oops. Okay, and just add this piece here. And so to make sure that it's still going to continue to spin, we are just going to glue around the sides. So I'm just going to do here and all over the border and there. And now I'm just going to put this down, just like so. Isn't it fun? I love making little things like this, and it's just fun. And even if you don't want to make it, you know, like slide so much so it won't rip your paper, they always can just spin around and kind of, I don't know, I think it's just so cute, and it's just such a different little element to have. Okay, so now let's work on the cover for your box. Okay, so for the top of the box, we're going to cut a piece that measures 7 5/8, which is basically 7.5 plus 1/8 after that, just a little bit bigger than 7.5. And it's gonna be the same dimension on both sides, so it's gonna be 7 5/8 by 7 5/8. And we have this square piece, and we are going to score 1 inch all around. Okay, so we're gonna do one, and one more. And then we're gonna fold along the score lines And I'm going to cut one of the sides all the way around. So I'm gonna do one side here and then turn it around and one more. And we're just going to use these little flaps to glue the box together. So I'm just gonna add my glue. And we're just going to cover the box with some of the design paper, and this piece measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and we're just gonna center that, and we're gonna put one on the inside as well. Okay, so I also added paper to the sides of the cover, as you can see, on the inside and out. And now we're gonna add the cover onto our box and make sure that it fits. I'm just gonna hold these 3 sides, and then we're gonna do the last one, and there you go. How cute. And all we gotta do now is just decorate the cover here. And I'm gonna be using some flowers. These are poinsettias that were sent to me as happy mail, and these are ready, so I'm just gonna take a little shortcut. And also I'm gonna use one of these bows that I had on my stash as well, but you can definitely decorate this box using anything that you have on hand. So I'm going to add some foam tape, and I'm just going to embellish this box. And there you go. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and I really hope that you give it a try. It is so fun to make, and it's even funner to give it away and see somebody's reaction when they know you made something special for them. So don't forget to visit the ladies on the description box down below and check out their projects for today. And I want to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.